Welcome to Power by Passion. Welcome to the Power by Passion podcast series. In this exciting new series, we'll be exploring the vibrant world of nuclear through the eyes of the next generation of professionals. We are exploring the stories of young, passionate individuals who are shaping the future of the sector, whether in energy, health, safety, technology innovation, space exploration, and beyond. Nuclear is alive, active, and innovative, and the young professionals driving this change are the keys of its future. Every month, we bring you fresh insights from across the nuclear field, stories of personal growth, career challenges, inspiration, and the powerful impact that nuclear can have on our world. So, whether you're just starting your journey in nuclear or thinking about jumping in, this podcast is for you. In today's episode, we are pleased to introduce Matija Pisk, a young professional from Croatia. To be precise, Matija works at the Krško nuclear power plant located on the border between Slovenia and Croatia. And to be even more precise, is based in the control room of that plant. So sit back, relax, and join us as we hear Matija's story, his inspiration, but also how he's working to bring together young professionals from across Europe to one of the biggest youth events in the nuclear sector. So welcome, Matija. Welcome to this first episode of our podcast.
Thank you very
series.
much. Thank you very much for having me.
So, Matija, tell us a bit more about you, about your career today. What's your story? What's your professional growth?
Oh, that's a really nice question because I wouldn't say like my path was carved in stone. I finished mechanical engineering in faculty Zagreb. And then I did my master thesis in Liechtenstein, actually. So I was working for a company called Hilti, and I was doing some, research work regarding diamond tools and cutting tools. But I always had a strong side for nuclear energy and everything regarding nuclear. But as you have said before, the Krško power plant is co-owned between Croatia and Slovenia. So I would say that we are kind of a unique story. And the one thing that nobody knows is actually how to get a job in nuclear industry. And I was one of those people. I had no idea if you could actually work there. What kind of competences do you need to come to work there? It just looked like a black box and like there was no entry to it. But fortunately enough, I got a scholarship from Nuclear Power Plant Krško. And after that, I actually received a job offer, and now I'm working as a reactor operator in a control room. And for that, you need to go to a 2-year-long course. So firstly, let's say your first 6 months are mostly based on an institute, which they have a test reactor on which you can actually practice all your skills, get all the knowledge regarding nuclear energy, reactor physics, thermodynamics, things like that. And then after that, you go to power plant, then you learn all of the systems we have there. And that usually takes about a year. And then you go for 1 year of a reactor operating training where you actually, when you actually work in a control room, which is a simulator, and it's one-to-one copy of our control room. So I would say you are really well prepared after that.
And in this career, in this personal development and career development, what has been the motivation, the inspiration that drove you from the topic you were studying at the very beginning to your current position, your current role in a control room of a nuclear power plant?
So I would say my passion stems from, I would say my curiosity regarding nuclear energy, because it was always something I really liked reading about, something I really liked to educate myself about. And one thing which was always more mysterious is how to actually come and go to work to nuclear industry, because in Croatia we are really limited regarding all of the faculty courses and universities we have regarding nuclear energy. So I would say it was a bit of a self-discovery adventure regarding that. And I would say through some luck and of course through some passion regarding nuclear energy, I actually managed to get a first job in a nuclear power plant Krško. And yeah, it's just combination of everything. I would say that I came to this industry just because of my curiosity, but I mostly stayed because this industry actually fulfilled all of my expectations. So I mostly expected it to be really open and industry which actually supports all of its members. Being in, let's say, European nuclear society, being in a young generation network, or being in a nuclear power plant. And I think I really felt that I would say like the power of community in the nuclear industry. And of course, it's an industry which has, I would say, really little competition between each other, and it's really mostly supporting everybody and just trying to be better each and every day. So at least I would say collectively we are all really passionate about just being that much better the next day, and also we are trying to do that through all of our programs. Let's say we also had a Vano coming to our power plant. So just being a bit better every day and just trying to contribute a bit more, it's something which is really, I would say, it's a strong motivation for me, and it's something I'm really passionate about. And also, of course, in the end, we are just trying to provide as much of clean electricity as we are able to, trying to support European grid, trying to support Croatian and Slovenian infrastructure. And yeah, we are doing it 365 days a year, 18 months in a one fuel cycle. So yeah, we are really proud in all of our achievements, but also that's not something which should be taken lightly. And I would say all of the successes we had like until today are not a guarantee for some other future successes. So we need to work even more harder just to stay at it, and yeah, just trying to be as best as we can possibly be each and every day.
So all along your personal education and professional development, have you had any career mentor?
Well, of course, I would say everything started actually from our Faculty of Mechanical Engineering. Of course, without mentors, you really wouldn't be able to go through all of the bachelor thesis and master thesis and all of the work that was needed to actually get the degree. So I would say like even from the start, we were taught that, okay, mentorship is extremely important because you always need somebody who is going to guide you to the next level. And that is extremely well translated in nuclear. So when all of us came to nuclear, let's say we had scholarship grants, we came to work at our power plant, we really weren't knowledgeable how to actually proceed. And mentors really helped a lot there. I would say the most helpful they were actually in helping us to get a grasp of all of the systems we do actually have in our power plant, because it's really difficult to know what is a power plant, how does it actually operate, and it's a really it's a huge machine which has, I would say, a couple of hundred systems. I mean, it's really analogous to, I would say, a car. Even a car has tens of systems, like different systems, subsystems, and components which they work in unison. So actually, them taking their time to show us everything in great detail, have them actually transferring all the knowledge regarding simulator, how does the power plant operate actually, all of their, I would say, operating experience they had collected throughout the years. We wouldn't be able to finish our training, we wouldn't be able to be as proficient as operators today without our mentors. So I would say we are standing on their shoulders, that's for sure. And we are here only because of them. So this is also, if somebody from them is actually listening to this, huge thank you for all the work they put into us.
And in this very supportive environment, have you ever had to face any challenge, big challenge, and if so, how did you overcome it?
I mean, yeah, the first big challenge for me was actually learning the other language because the power plant is located in another country. Hopefully and luckily, the language is quite familiar to Croatian. So, uh, it wasn't that of a shock, I would say, as let's say, in example, coming to Finland to actually work on a power plant. That would be really, really difficult. So yeah, that was, I would say, like a first big hurdle for us. Then we had to go through all of the training in another language, so in Slovenian. So that was a second hurdle, I would say. And of course, yeah, it was really hard work to actually come to conclusion of our training and actually started working at our power plant. So yeah, it was quite challenging, I would say, and it's not as easy as it looks like, really. So
In your career to date, what's your proudest achievement?
I mean, for now, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that I have achieved much. I would say because we are really just beginning. I would say, and the combination of getting a license for reactor operator and also in this manner being a chair of ENYGF conference, this is something that I really enjoy doing. So I wouldn't really, I really wouldn't say that I have some achievements. I do have some enjoyments in it, so it's even more satisfying, I would say. And also, as you mentioned before, a lot of team members which were also with me in reactor operator training were extremely supportive. Like the whole culture, I would say, of our power plant is extremely supportive. Questioning attitude is number one, I would say, in nuclear industry, especially. So you're always welcome to ask questions. Have any kind of your ideas listened to and actually implemented in some systems if if you of course have some good ideas. So yeah, that is really a strong suit of, I would say, nuclear industry in general.
Beyond your work, you are also very active through youth association and your national YGN. So how did you run into these networks and what attracted you?
Oh, so that is a funny story because the first, I would say, contact with our Croatian Nuclear Society came in, I would say, 2018 or 19, when the HBO miniseries Chernobyl actually came to television. So I wanted to make a presentation regarding nuclear energy. So that was like 5 or 6 years ago in my faculty. And usually, I would say our classrooms aren't really packed. So maybe there were like 20 of us in materials engineering. So these are mostly half empty. But when I actually had that presentation, there were like 70 people in a classroom, which is like for maybe 30 people. So it was extremely jam-packed. And yeah, that moment actually gave me, I would say, maybe some confidence in tackling all of these challenges, moving a step forward toward nuclear industry, because yeah, there is a lot of interest behind it, and I really don't feel that there is like a really good outlet for information for everybody else. So for people not working in nuclear industry. So
Matija, what happened after this presentation?
So I mean, that was a funny story because after this presentation, I actually met Paulina, and she's from Croatian Nuclear Society, and I was quite unaware that actually existed. So I was, I would say, really amazed, and she actually invited me to join the Croatian Nuclear Society, and told me about all the possibilities, like working in the nuclear power plant Krško, all of the scholarships that they were offering, and I was like completely unaware of that because. I would say for people from Slovenia, they live with that power plant. It's in their neighborhood, and for us, like in Zagreb, it's really like out of sight, out of mind, I would say. So we just really don't think about it. So it was really amazing to, I don't know, get like a first-hand experience on how to actually start working at a nuclear sector and in the nuclear industry. So yeah, that was like a pure luck, I would say. The room was crowded, but yeah, we actually, every one of us actually got something out of it. We actually made some new discoveries about what actually happened to Chernobyl. what's about nuclear energy in general, and yeah, how to maybe get yourself into this sector, because it's in Croatia, it's, I would say, really difficult to find a company which actually is involved in nuclear sector. So yeah, that was a really great opportunity. And yeah, a couple of years later, we are here working in the nuclear power plant Krško in the control room as a reactor operator. So yeah, I really couldn't imagine it back then. So yeah, really happy with the place and the position I'm in right now. So.
Indeed, you are just introducing the next question. So it's clear you are from Croatia, and Zagreb is the place to be. Place to be in June 2025. So you're currently leading the organization of a fantastic event tailored for youth in nuclear. Would you like to tell us more about that, about ENYGF?
I mean, hopefully it will be fantastic. And realistically, we are a really small team. So maybe there is like 6 of us working on it from Croatia. Also, everybody from European Nuclear Society is really amazing, and from all the YGNs we have so much support. Like that's insane. And everybody from the European Nuclear Society is treating this event as their own. So it's not really like we are working on something by ourselves. So also coming back to the notion of support the nuclear industry, it's really just unmatched. So wherever you go, you always have some friends somewhere, and somebody is really going to help you and is really eager to. So the idea with the ENYGF is just to have some place for young people to have their skills shown, I would say. So we do have a lot of papers coming in. We do have some really amazing ideas and cool stories. But of course, there is nothing without an industry. So we can always talk about young in the industry, but we need to have an industry. In Croatia, we do have an industry. We do have a stake in our power plant. We do have some companies which are actually revolving around nuclear industry. But with this ENYGF, we are also wanting to connect the industry with the young people, try to actually see that we do have an industry, and we would like to continue to grow it, because only with the growth of our industry, we'll be able to make sure that we do have some really good jobs for young people coming to industry. And when I say really good jobs, we need something for everybody. We have let's say, see when you dissect all of the how would I put it into words? All of our I'll need to answer this again. When you actually see all of the professions needed in nuclear industry, so let's say from the electricians, mechanical engineers, welders, pipe workers, radiological profession, chemists, physicists. You just need such a diverse, I would say, group of people that it's really impossible to have that without a really good industry. So you really need to have a good foundation by which you can actually absorb all of kind of professions. And ENYGF would be a really good kickstart for that, because in that we are not really just focusing, let's say, on one group of people in that industry. We are just wanting to have a broad appeal for everybody, because when you think about young people, let's say, going to chemical faculty, let's say, so they are working on a chemical degree, they're not really familiar in ways how to get to nuclear energy or nuclear industry and how this degree is actually applicable to our industry. But it is extremely important. Physicists also, engineers also. So this is something which we are really trying to connect the industry with young people, and actually show the industry that, okay, we do have young people and they're really working as much as they can. They have some extremely good ideas, and they have a lot of I would say spirit, energy, and yeah, just I would say something which young people do actually bring to the teams. Questioning attitude. I would say a really good positive, I don't know, maybe thinking regarding a lot of topics, and of course some fresh perspective, because if you're working on something and you get somebody who had zero, I would say, exposure to it, you also do get some new and fresh ideas, which actually helps you to solve some problems. So yeah, that's the idea. Connect the industry with young people and show them that we do actually have some really, really good opportunities, and they could actually use it to their advantage and develop their careers.
So everybody mark your calendar from the 2nd to the 6th of June 2025 in Zagreb, ENYGF 2025. We'll add the link in the description of this podcast so you can find more information and participate. Of course, you're invited to join Matija in Zagreb. And to conclude our first episode, we would like to ask you one of your hopes or goals for the future, or some thoughts you would like to share with young people who have recently joined or are thinking of joining the nuclear sector.
So from the perspective of actually sharing some of the insights which we actually went through, I would say just keep working on it. That's the first thing, because it is difficult to just, I would say, jump in the nuclear sector. You really need to first know the lingo. You need to get a feel for all of the rules, all of the peculiarities that nuclear energy actually has. So it is a process, but in the end of the day, it is a really fulfilling one. And there is just so much knowledge distilled in something like, let's say, a nuclear power plant, that somebody who is really curious is going to enjoy it for a lot of years to come. So that will be my advice, and focusing on the test and staying true to it. And it also helps if you do have any love for nuclear in general. It will be so much easier for you, and you will just enjoy it so much more.
Thank you so much to Matija for sharing his inspiring story with us today. It's clear that the future of nuclear is in great hands, with passionate young professionals like him leading the way. From his role in the control room to his dedication to bringing the next generation together, Matija is truly making the difference in the sector. Thank you also to you, our listeners, for tuning in. We hope you are as inspired by Matija's journey as we are. Be sure to join us next time for another exciting episode of Powered by Passion, where we'll be talking with another incredible young professional who's shaping the future of nuclear. Until then, keep learning, stay inspired, and never stop asking questions. This is Powered by Passion. See you next time. Powered by Passion is co-organized by the European Nuclear Society and the European Nuclear Society Young Generation Network, EFOMP Early Careers Group, the International Radiation Protection Association YGN, and the FuseNet Association Student Council. The Cross-YGN collaboration is set up with the support of EN2+ project, the largest and most integrative nuclear education and training efforts up to date in nuclear ENT. EN2+ is funded by the European Union.